Today we're going to do a review on the Jackery 500. I've had this power unit for probably, I don't know, probably about 2 years now, almost 2 years. And it's become something that's very handy for what I do. These used to be pretty expensive units, and they still are, but they're starting to drop down in price. The latest is, I used to always say they were $1 a watt, but now it's getting where they're even cheaper than that. And the 1000 watters are getting where they're cheaper and cheaper now. This is the 500 watt, and they make I think a 250 watt as well. So it just depends on your needs. As far as using a Cpap and a few other needs, the 250 would probably be enough. I've gone with the 500 here, and so I'm going to be reviewing this 500. Okay, just taking a look at it, what's nice about this thing is it's a backup power unit, and you can carry it anywhere. You can go camping with it. I've actually taken it to a trip out to Colorado where I need a Cpap and need to charge my phone and a few other things in my tent, and I could charge this using this cord here, which is plugs into your normal cigarette lighter type setup, and you can charge it while you're driving. And if you look on here, you have a display showing 86% right now. And what's nice about it, as you plug stuff in, it'll actually give you your output of what you're actually using. And then you can also, as you're charging, you can have the input as well. And there is a solar panel that hooks to this system. I've got a little Renogy system for the entire camper that I've got set up where I can hook that up. And if you look in the corner here, you'll see where I've got a video where I did that particular panel. The nice thing about this one here is it's got hookups for each thing. And something that's important to know about this is when you're using this power unit, if it has an inverter on here, but and you can turn on each and every one of these particular things. When you turn that on, a fan kicks on for the inverter. So it does use a little more power if you're running stuff off your standard plugs. If you're using it off of USBs, it's pretty much straight off the battery. The same thing with your DC circuit. And that's why if you can convert, in my Cpap, I could plug it into here, but I don't, because it would use more power. So I used off the DC side, I have a plug I actually bought from the Cpap setup, and it was a little expensive, but it's worth it because it doesn't draw as much off this battery. Now, using this, if you got one that has the humidity pack on there, it's best to shut that down, because that will utilize a lot of energy on that Cpap unit, and it's better to use it without that humidity, and it doesn't draw down. I've gone through 2 days with no problems and still have some leftover, still down about 40% after 2 days. So it's a very it's 500 watts, very good for that. We also use it for electric blanket, which is a 12 volt. I'll show you that here. And this is the 12 volt blanket we've got here. We've got this on Amazon. I'll leave the links for the Jackery and also this blanket or something similar to it on Amazon. So this one here is just a 1-speed. It doesn't have a temperature control or anything like that. You just plug it in, you get a certain, it's not really hot, and you probably couldn't use that all night on this. I would say you could get one night out of it, but if you're using a Cpap as also, you probably can't. I've actually used this for several hours to get my bed warm and then get in bed, and then once I've got in there, then I hook up my Cpap, then go on from there, and that's worked really well even for 2 nights. So it works really good in the camper because you've got your other battery issues, and so this one here just is a way of using something else and not having to worry about putting everything on your batteries in your RV. So I really like this setup, and I think if you do any kind of off-grid at all, this is something you might want to look into, as far as, and even when you're in a tent, is a really good setup. And like I said, this comes with a little pouch here. It comes with a pouch, and it comes with a normal hookup for your charging in the house, and that actually charges it a little faster. And then it comes with this hookup here, which is for plugging into your car and charging while you're driving down the road. So it charges a little slower that way. And you can buy the packs where you have the solar panels that plug in here. It takes a little longer with the solar panels as well. And also, what I also want to show you is I bought this particular cooler pack. It came with 2 coolers. And this is something I saw from Slim Potato Head. He did this with his. He bought this particular cooler, and it works as a good storage compartment. It's padded on the side, and you can drop this inside, and you can keep all your cords stored in the front. And it gives you a case to carry that in. It works out really well. And again, I'll leave a link in the Amazon links for that as well. So that works out good for storing, and also just keeping it from banging around and damaging it in any way. As far as looking at this unit, it has several things on it which I've never really used. It's like here, it's got an actual light, little LED light. I guess if you were in a tent situation and you just need a quick light, you can reach over and hit that. It's got some strange, so here's the input here, and it's got some strange connectors here I'm not familiar with. Maybe if someone knows more about that, they can explain that in the comments. But like I say, this is what you use to not use as much of your power. And then, like I say, it has the 3 USBs and then 1 AC set up here. And now as you get different ones, you can get that 1000 watt, and I believe it has more plugs here. So it just depends on what you want to invest in. Just keep in mind, you don't want to exceed that wattage. 500 watts, I pretty much can run most regular appliances, run even a laptop computer, but you couldn't run a heater off of this. Couldn't run any kind of major appliance as far as a coffee pot or anything like that. So you'd have to step up to the 1000 or at least 1500 probably before you start using that type setup. So that's about all I have on this review. Like I say, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm really glad I purchased this back a few years ago, and it's really helped out a lot, and still going to be using a lot in the future. What's really amazing about it is we're actually getting ready for some ice storms to come through, and so I can use this in the house, and just in case power kicks out, I'll have a little bit of power to go around the house without having to get a generator going and everything else. I've got this thing ready to go, and it holds power a long time. I charged it to 100% probably about 3 months ago, and like you saw on there, it was 86% still. So real happy with this purchase, and hope this helps you out in making a decision if you want something like this. So that's about all I have on this review. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you again.